It's not always about what saying on the internet and on YouTube if I feel the same way. Just hilarious.
Whose job is it to actually show run?
I saw Loren show leadership.
She was like, I'm a producer
and
you
are
my talent.
Yep.
My talent.
Yep.
Angela, I you. Like, that's basically what he was trying to say.
It does seem at times that Charlamagne's therapists need therapy too.
I think this is a real workplace conflict.
Is Loren really innocent?
There was a point in that conversation when they were like, neither of us know what's happening.
It's almost like she's a snake just waiting to bite.
It's going to be her show at some point.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Just, I'm proud of you. You really did your thing this morning.
Comments are comments, but certain things that are being said could divide the show.
Envy, I was kept the same position the whole time, so I got to respect that.
We got to explain that to the listeners,
but
motherfucker.
they're not telling you to just ignore the comments, though?
Exactly.
Like, ignore the comments because don't let them trick you out your position.
That's crazy.
Not doing the proper upkeeping, man.
So what the f is Loren's contract? And why does it not state what she's supposed to be doing?
I don't know, man. I got questions.
Bum, beat 'em, people. Welcome back to an emergency installment of the Homeroom University podcast. You see, it's the pod, but your favorite pod. I'm your classmate, Tony Groove.
Jay Nobles.
AJ the Menace.
White man on the boards.
Yeah.
Yes, we're back. Like the video, share, subscribe, do all the things other YouTubers tell you to do.
Yeah.
Also, leave your hashtag office hours in the comments section below.
Please.
Part in the show, we get to answer your questions, concerns about us, other podcasts, life, world, the universe.
Anything.
But we're not going to do that this episode because, like Groove said, it's an emergency. But for the next episode, we're going to do that, so make sure you leave it. But
Feel free to shame F Mac for not coming.
Episodes, yeah, those episodes come out every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Yes, and $5 Patreon, $5 Patreon. Check it out.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, we had to get together because today was a big day at the Breakfast Club. Just hilarious. Last night went live and pretty much aired out her frustration about her position up there at the Breakfast Club. Today she came to work with that same energy. And yeah, it was up. It was up today. Loren LaRosa came into the fold. Everything was on the table, and it's only right since we've been documenting it pretty much since she went on maternity leave, right? I mean, we've been
Since the
documenting
beginning.
The beginning.
I'm glad you said documenting because you've gotten some texts. Some
Yeah.
say that we've orchestrated.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That's
But,
fucked up.
But
And it's only you.
But it's not just me. But let's
Puppeteer.
not forget, because I'm going to make sure I bring it up later. It's not always about what niggas are saying on the internet and on YouTube if I feel the same way. Just hilarious.
Yeah.
So let's make sure that's being known. But I think we should just get right into it. Should we start last night?
Yeah.
Should
let's
we
just-
start with the live?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just start
okay,
with the live.
okay.
Yes. Hit the bell.
Let's hit that timer. Bow. Last night, Just Hilarious went live, and she pretty much needed to air her grievances because what it really started at was Corey Holcomb really kind of put this whole thing on Front Street. He was on his podcast, 5150.
5150
and he was pretty much echoing some of the same things that we've said on this show.
He's been doing it for a while.
And
though.
he has, because him and Just Hilarious do have, like kind of Envy said, like an 11-year beef. I don't
Less
know.
hilarious.
Less hilarious. And I don't know
Yeah.
if it's actually 11 years, but we all know collectively it's a long fucking
He's
time.
been talking about her edges for the longest.
Yeah, it's a whole fact. Yeah, no,
Shout out
that's
to
a-
5150.
That's a whole fact. So he kind of laid out some of the things that we've echoed on this show, and I think one of our first times outside of us announcing that she was even there was Loren LaRosa better? Was back in October on Is Loren LaRosa better than Jess Hilarious as a Breakfast Club host, and should Jess be swapped out and replaced?
Just a question.
And that was dropped. That's on our YouTube channel. But he pretty much laid out all those same kind of points that we've seen in terms of, it seemed like Jess don't even really like her like that. Like, that girl is doing your job better than you are. She's reading better and all these other things. And because Corey Holcomb is such a big voice, it's just completely caught fire. And I think that's probably, that was the boiling point, for Jess that made her go live and kind of air out all the grievances because he was echoing things that she's also being frustrated with up at the job.
Wait, that happened. When did she go live?
Last night,
Which was Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Tuesday the 18th.
the 18th.
What time? Because Corey Holcomb's show is on the West Coast, and he does his show at like 10 p.m.
West Coast time, which is 7 p.m. his time. And you're saying it might have happened all at the same time?
I think it happened all at the same time, though.
I mean, it could
because I
mean,
remember
it could
watching
have,
the show. I think it was just honest, like pure coincidence.
The worlds just collided, but
As soon as he got that
But-
off too, though, it could have just caught fire, went
It coulda
viral,
just
and
caught
then
fire.
she's like, "Fuck it, nigga, I'm up."
Because
You know what I'm
like you said, it's just been a boiling point since
Yeah.
our video. You know what I mean? We dubbed the question.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she was on maternity leave when we asked that
saying?
question.
we did, and it was because
that's how we taught her. It was like, can you lose your job on maternity leave?
yeah, and it was
Fired
mainly
on your day
because
off.
you had brought up how the comment section was so heavy leaning towards I don't know if we really need. And it was the way Loren LaRosa covered the Dame Dash situation. It was the Jay-Z situation. She had covered that so well. And I can't remember I can't 100% remember what it was.
Something legal.
But yeah, it was something like that. And people put in the comments in the last episode, the last clip we just dropped, how they were like, that was when she really shined. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was when niggas started asking that question. And Jess Hilarious went live, and we can play her live. This is gonna be played. It's not the whole thing, but if you go to 3132 off that full episode, which I should have put the link in there. I didn't put that link in
It's
there.
right here, though.
My bad. Oh yeah, it's right there.
It's right here. So the,
31. Go ahead.
31.
She had to come in like
How
this,
y'all feel
right?
about her even going? Oh,
She
yeah.
had to
Not
come in
that-
like this, right?
Well, on the live or on the radio show?
Let's start with the live and then the radio show.
Do we think the live was necessary?
The live isn't necessary, but it's a symptom of
It's the effect.
of just a lack of communication and
Poor
feeling
leader-
like this
poor
is
leadership.
This her last resort. Because Jess is a real nigga in certain instances. So it's like I know that she knows that the optics of her going on live and blasting the whole crew isn't the best look. So I'm thinking she only resorted to those means because she literally broke.
But
she got to that point where it's like nobody hearing me, so I got to really go out and do what I can.
She wears her heart on her sleeve, which is good and bad in certain situations.
Yeah.
Like I felt like
Yeah, that's always like a good or bad
it,
thing.
it can go either way depending on your perspective of this. Like I saw a lot of people. What did you?
I was about to say it doesn't excuse this though.
No, it doesn't excuse the
this at all.
behavior.
Because if you didn't at least try to have like a meeting of the minds with everybody,
Yeah.
like a real interrogation, like I feel this way, then you don't do that.
I do respect how it wasn't planned. There was no notes. She didn't tape anything to a wall. It was just like, nigga, this is how I feel right now.
She don't have to remember her story.
Yeah.
Niggas being
What
written
she's
right
been
now.
through.
I think it was completely okay that she went live, and I think it's because it was a boiling point. Because what we learned this morning on the radio as she was talking it out, that they have had several conversations. So it wasn't okay. Let me just be like, if I'm being real, is the action right? No, right? That's never good to go on live and blast some shit out. But
Yeah.
she would have never got the resolution that she got today if that didn't happen. And if you've been asking for resolution behind the scenes quietly, and the only way that you can get it or people to essentially take you seriously is what it seems like, to be like, okay, because she stressed more than one. This is not our first conversation, period, today. Like that was stress 100
She said
times.
that to everybody. Like there was individual
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah. There was individual.
There was groups.
There was group. There was upper management conversation. It was conversations on every single level, and my voice was not heard.
and they weren't talking about nothing.
Exactly.
They weren't talking
That's
about-
the craziest part. It didn't go anywhere.
Because
what I was
especially
gonna
it's ironic that it's a radio show that's having a problem with communication.
Mm.
Like when even just hearing how they came in the morning and all that, I'm like, yo, these niggas don't really have much like interaction before or maybe even after. It's kind of just like we on the air.
There's no team sports after the Breakfast Club. There's no group bonding
no
time. You know what I mean?
no
Even on
CC
just some like
pizza.
random, like, yo, like what you doing? And it could be because everybody's busy. Like I'm pretty sure, like even with Charlamagne and just
I remember when they first started, they used to go out and get drunk and party a lot together.
that's what used to happen.
Jess, Angela, and Envy, absolutely. I mean, they would joke about
What,
stories.
Jess, Angela, and Envy?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Charlotte, Angela, and Envy, like they were friends for a long time until they weren't. And I mean, I remember they used to joke about how like they had a cot in there where niggas was going.
Period, blood stained on it.
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, like
yeah.
niggas was homies
It's a
for
frat
real.
house.
DJ Envy was like,
it was a
"What the
frat
fuck?"
house when they got there 20 years or 13 years ago or however long it's been on the radio.
You know, they were also younger, less kids.
They were
less
early,
faithfulness
that was,
in relationships.
That was early or mid 30s for everybody, right? Because I think it's like 13 years. I can't remember.
And it's just the overall integrity of their relationship wasn't really solid, and Jess felt that. That's why she felt like, she might have been losing the respect of her peers because of the comment section, like she said in the optics. But you said you wanted to look at the live.
I was just about to say that.
Envy seemed like he don't think there was a conversation had at all.
Yeah, Envy, and see, that's the thing about these situations to where it's like, you'll think that you're talking to somebody and that they understand you, but they really don't.
Right.
Like, especially if you kind of like, it's just from them responding to everything, it was a bunch of assumptions.
Yep.
It was like, yo, I thought that y'all thought together that was a thing that we would.
My bad, dog. But I get what you're saying, and this goes to what I even said. Like, this is kind of really all Charlamagne's fault. And I'm only saying Charlamagne because Envy is just he's just there.
Envy gets
for the
a
most part.
pass.
I feel that.
And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but in terms of who's running point, they go to like Charlamagne. You know what I mean? And so the fact that it like everything has a beginning, and the beginning is not making sure you're, reassuring the people under you. It's like a relationship, and that's probably Charlamagne never expected to have to babysit this crew. You know what I mean? He never expected to have to treat one of his co-hosts like his girlfriend. Like, I got to reassure this bitch every now and then. Like, what the fuck? So,
I get whose job is it to actually show run? Like to send memos,
Eddie.
to like put shit in notes, to like, hey, we're gonna do this. That person's gonna be here at this time. Because it's like even when Jess was describing Eddie F. I'm about to say his name. We might have to bring up his picture.
I don't know. I tried to find. I couldn't.
But I say because if we putting Charlamagne on the line too, it's some other niggas that gotta go. Because
Of course, Charlamagne's on the line in terms of his leadership abilities, but he's not.
Sure.
He's not. That's
and especially
his
on
leadership
air,
abilities look disgusting today. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But he's not on the line for that. It's more of. I lost my thought.
It's more so who's organizing everything. Like, why did Jess come back and learn that Loren was still gonna be there? Like, that would be some freaky shit if you pulled up and like say you was gone and F-Mac was filling in for you, but it's like you came and F-Mac was still in your seat, like with his headphones.
Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah,
ready.
Charlamagne. I don't know.
Nobody said.
I don't know how much power Charlamagne has. Like
none.
Because
he just has a little bit of influence. Let's finish the live though that she did. So like the live that she did, she kind of aired everybody out. One of the biggest points that she had is that nobody is defending her up there. That was one of the biggest points. She feels like that the people that are up there between Envy and Charlamagne, essentially her co-hosts, they make and Loren LaRosa actually. Let me just say that out there too. She feels like everybody makes a conscious effort to combat and beat narratives down, but they do not do the same thing in terms of combating, beating narratives down when it comes to the place of work and their dynamic. But everything else, any other rumor and thing like that, it is a little like strange or whatever. And I think that was one of her biggest issues that she kind of addressed on that live.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to play a little bit of this? Yeah, I do want to hear her.
Well, were you talking about the live or
talking about her live right now, and then we'll move over to the show.
Do you have that link?
Yep, I know. I don't have the whole live. I'm just gonna play the snippet that they played on the Breakfast Club at
31, 32, right?
Yeah, right here.
I sent the link to Lauren.
Because the whole thing is like 15 minutes. Like, there's no way we can really
action packed people.
And they
Plus,
was
we want the bulk of it to be like today. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what shit was up.
They was playing with that part 3. I was looking in the comments. They was posting other videos.
They damn
and
sure was.
Niggas in the comments was just like, "Yo, stop playing,
Part 3, dog.
Part 3.
Yeah.
We need to see how this ends."
Nah, that's a
But the
whole
behind the
fact.
camera,
I have more.
Oh shit, my fault.
bring it back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Some of these timestamps might not be perfect, but they're real close. We lost audio on our microphones. At least I did.
No, I got you.
Okay.
You're back. But yeah, so you want 31, 32, you said, right?
31, 32. It's not exact, but just go a little bit before because it was her talking right there.
I got you.
You're
Like and subscribe.
With this online, come on, I've been quiet a lot. If Jess Hilarious is quiet, it's a mother reason. I always got my mouth open. All the time. Just ran like a high school. It is. Fair East Side High.
I agree with that.
Fair East Side High.
Fair point.
But for Mr. Clark, though. Every day, and they always talk about, you ain't at work, you ain't at work. Yeah, bitch, I started picking up more shows. Hell no. That's how I'm getting. Hell no. Hell no. I have more fun outside the studio than I have in there now. Is you crazy? No, act like that's not for real. Act like nobody knew that. Stop acting like y'all like
What
we
part?
really.
What you mean we don't have your back?
I have more.
Break that down. Explain how we don't have your
Okay,
back.
all right. So the narrative, like I said, with the online
You
ish,
can
that's
pause
what I
it.
said.
Envy took like real offense to this.
Yeah. When he was describing like, yo, I really F with you. This ish mean nothing. I was like, he's getting too passionate. Like, how would you tell somebody you really like care? It just felt forced a little bit.
Nah,
like,
I think he was.
felt real.
I think he was. Look, first of all, light skin, emotion.
Okay.
That's an easy bag for them to get into. But with that moment, that was 100% genuine because it's like I really think that Jess said stuff, but I think that in trying to respect Loren at the same time and not really going all the way and saying I don't really fuck with her and what she doing in my chair, she made noise, but not clear noise. Not I'm upset she's in my chair. It's just there's tension between y'all, and then they probably think it's women. They
you think so?
Yeah, that's what. Judging off of everybody's reaction, other than Loren, they're kind of not blindsided, but they kind of like, yo, I didn't realize it was that bad.
Even Loren didn't realize that some of the things was said. She said, "You never said some of them things to me."
Some of those things, but even her and Loren had conversations to where it's like where Jess did some real nigga shit because through talking to Loren, apparently she found out that Loren was just as lost as to what was going on,
that was beautiful.
what exactly she was supposed to do. So she was just going with
That
the
was
flow.
beautiful. There was a couple.
And
There was a couple shaky
that's
job titles in there.
But
Yeah.
that's a real nigga moment because she was like, I realized my anger is misdirected.
Exactly.
It's not Loren. A lot of people they probably wouldn't have cared. They just would have let that beef
They'd have kept
simmer.
going.
Yeah.
And they would have let Loren symbolize what the real issue is. So it's like,
And in this entire thing, even though Jess had missteps, I saw a lot of accountability, a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And I thought overall, she handled herself very well.
Yeah.
Overall,
Yeah.
even though she was the driving force of this entire thing, like, like doing the live stream, it was like, as I'm listening to this morning, I'm like, yeah, she's checking niggas where they're supposed to be checked. She's holding herself accountable, realizing, altering her
perspective.
Her
Yeah.
perspective,
Real
like
time, yeah.
this is as real as it gets. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
This is as real as it gets. Like, and I appreciated that the entire time, even with her missteps. You know what I'm saying? She killed it. I
Even
thought.
with her mistakes.
Even with her
In the
mistakes.
shade to Loren to where like, hey, shut up.
I think I have like a general idea of how I feel about everybody's actions and performance throughout this. I don't want to call this performance because this was actually a real thing. This is a real workplace conflict.
Yeah.
This wasn't staged. This is what happens in corporations. Like I saw Loren show leadership.
Yup.
I saw Loren standing on business.
Yeah.
Saw Loren showing extreme dominance. I saw her not
Poise,
backing,
for sure.
poise for sure, but dominance.
You saw
dominance.
TMZ.
I saw dominance in that corporate ladder. That's what I
yeah.
saw.
Yeah,
Off the
because
muscle for
she's
real.
played the game. Like she comes from the game, the system.
She's had a real job.
She's very well educated. That's what I
Absolutely.
mean. Like she knows how to move and maneuver. I forgot her accolades, but they're pretty.
TMZ.
They're far.
She's
They run
also
far.
innocent. Loren did nothing wrong. Loren did everything that was asked of her and kind of more to the point where it was
sure.
like the people in the comments is like, I like her. So
Yeah. And Loren did some cold-blooded shit at the end though. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, just be like she was a full victim. That nigga was stepping on shit too. Respectfully, like she did what she was supposed to do, but she stepped on niggas too.
She was like, I'm a producer
And
you
you're
are
my
my
talent.
talent.
Yep.
My talent.
We gotta have a working
My
relationship.
talent.
Yep.
We don't have to be friends, my nigga. I see the future of the Breakfast Club, and it's run by Loren LaRosa.
I can make you a star.
Off
Yeah.
the rip. And
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed. I'm not surprised. But I can't believe we all got to see on the world stage the thoughts that Charlamagne had for the Breakfast Club. This thing's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
We all looked at him like he was the one putting this all together. You're a mastermind behind some of these things. We saw none of that shit this morning. We saw weak leadership. We saw terrible leadership. We saw somebody who was completely just avoiding the situation
In real time.
In real
Yeah.
time, I feel like I can't prove none of this. I feel like we saw what happens when conversations that happen off air or conversations that two individual parties have come out in front of the group and then I see how you acting in front of the group.
Yeah.
And that's not that nigga that I was talking to. You know what I'm saying? That we saw that. I feel I can't prove that though.
He took a very lackadaisical approach.
It does seem at times that Charlamagne's therapists need therapy too.
Yeah.
But do you think that Charlamagne looks at himself as the leader of the Breakfast Club?
Hell yeah.
He looks at
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. He loves himself.
I think he's accepted.
He did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's not doing that. Like, he's not though.
It was a poor showing.
He never, he never expected to have to do this because this is kind of some petty shit. I think, in a weird way, I think this whole situation was just beneath Charlamagne's whole
not if you're the CEO.
what he's doing. I don't think Charlamagne knows what's going on unless his producer is telling him where he's going, what's going on. This was literally nothing to him. So when Jess was talking to him, yeah, so what's going on? Like you said, she wasn't just coming out and saying, why is Loren in my seat? Which
you talking about for today?
Yeah, for today.
I was saying that for the past because they kept alluding to having a bunch of meetings and conversations to where she was pulling people to the side, yo, what's going on with yo?
And Charlamagne, being Charlamagne, he was just I don't know. It's Loren's doing her thing. It was just
I don't believe that's what he said behind off camera either though.
I think that was his approach.
What's your conspiracy theory?
I'll get into that later, but it's
let him marinate.
It's not even conspiracy. It's obvious.
He wasn't
because
even,
there were several times when Jess was like, "Why are you doing that right now?"
Yeah, he's playing dumb.
Yeah.
Even when she said that on when he was talking about the comments, she was like, "Why are you acting like you don't be deep?"
Charlamagne is you.
That's the only thing he said the entire time, and outside of making gay jokes. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. He made gay jokes, and he said he repeated the same thing over and over again that didn't apply to the situation.
I didn't even hear the gay jokes.
And what was that?
What?
The same thing?
It was, I told you, don't let the internet and these YouTubers and the comment section trick you out your position and all this other stuff and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He even continued to repeat that post her saying, this is how I feel though.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. These are the people why would I ignore these people?
Right.
Yeah.
These are the people that watch us.
And
it's different. Now, it's different if every video is fuck them up there. It's Jess hilarious. It's weak. It's all those things. You know what I mean? That's different from somebody who's running a campaign, or YouTubers or content creators that are running campaigns directly only negative. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then we do ignore those, right? But we're talking about
Charlamagne gay.
You're right, and that's what he was bringing up. They call me gay forever.
We're gonna do with the survey,
there's shit like that.
Yeah. And he's also done things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's
Envy and Charlamagne thought that this was all about the comments. I think
I'm only putting that on
they
Charlamagne.
thought that's
no, because even Envy said it too. He was like, you can't let them comments get in your head. The reason
I think he did say that, my bad. The reason he did say that is because there's a certain level of disconnected, kind of like how you were alluding to. It's like Envy is there. There's a certain level of disconnection for Envy where it's
but
I'm really here just getting my check, doing my thing, boom, boom, bow, and I go back. But I also got an open case. I can't be dealing with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
But to the point though, I think that they thought it was purely the comments and they didn't realize that Jess felt how the comments were saying too.
Yeah, they're confusing which domino fell first. Nigga, we saw how she felt on the screen, and then the comments came. It wasn't the other way around. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're not even, like I said, Charlamagne really, they wasn't even on their pivot. They wasn't trying to.
The comments did start before they were on screen because when she was on leave, they were saying that Loren was better. So she wasn't even in the room with her, and they was already on the let's divide them. But she definitely got there.
She got there,
and it was true.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's go to that. Let's go to that time segment. The 32-34. You get back to work after your maternity leave. You have no idea. You think you know. I take that back. You think you know the dynamic of the show, and then you come to find out it's completely different.
Companies in general.
How would you feel about that?
Fuck what I feel. We're sticking to this.
Yeah, I don't care about you.
Yeah. Let's get right to it. Yeah.
Was meant to be a fourth host. Move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff.
Yes.
Then that's when Jess with the mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Who said that? Because the internet said
What
that?
are we talking about? No. This is our listeners. This is yeah. Why can't we worry about the comments? And these are people that enjoy the show and watch the show. It's not all about Instagram. It's YouTube. It's like we have people that have been watching the show. Yeah, she's great at what she do. That's why I picked her to fill in for me. But when I came back, it's like, what's going on? If she's gonna be a fourth voice, why she only gotta be a fourth voice
correct me if
on
I'm
my
wrong.
segment?
She wasn't a fourth voice. She was a producer. She was hired as a news producer to help with getting all news and doing interview
She was going to be the
questions.
senior news producer.
She wasn't on there. When you came back, Loren was not on there. She was in the back doing questions, sending interview questions, reporting the news. Am I lying?
I thought
Yeah,
you
you
was.
lying.
I
Yeah,
thought,
she was on air. She was on air.
They told her don't step in this room.
yes, but I thought you was using her on purpose.
What? You thought I was using Loren on purpose?
Yes.
No. What are we talking about? No. She
Okay,
didn't.
boss. What is he doing?
Sick.
You see,
What is he doing? Number one, also one of the reasons I like that clip and put it in there, a lot of accountability. She told us, I came back. Jess was reading and doing my segment better than me, and yeah, she is like straight up. Like most people will not say that. They'll take the ego route and they'll be like, who gives a fuck that if I'm not reading it right?
mine.
It's mine.
Yeah.
She was even looking at it from a bigger picture, like, Shorty is doing my job good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give her the segment. Why is it mine? She's killing it.
Yeah.
The people like her more. That's a lot of accountability that you don't see often from anybody, especially people with notoriety. You
That's
know what I
real
mean?
teamwork.
That's real.
Like she
That's
saw
real.
that something
That's real
could
shit.
fit for the success, and it was like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
bro. That's real, dog. Yeah.
Yeah, through this whole thing, you could tell she was trying to make it work throughout. She was just trying to dodge bullshit. And it's like, okay,
It never felt like she was being unreasonable.
I could take this punch.
Not
It
one
hurts.
time.
No.
It never felt like she was being unreasonable. Out of pocket, for sure. She definitely had some out of pocket moments, but was not unreasonable though. And then also that was what it sounds like she was hired as a senior news producer. And like I feel like I alluded to this before in like another previous clip. By the way, all of our documentation of this, the Loren LaRosa, Jess Hilarious, it is going to be like linked in the description of this video so that you guys can go back, blah, and check how we were one of the first to just tip that domino on the conversation. But
The catalog is extensive.
yeah, the catalog is extensive out here. But what was I saying? It didn't even sound like she knew when she was coming back that she was being hired as a senior news producer. You know what I mean? That wasn't like a known thing. Loren might have known that. But they just didn't know. It wasn't
Whose
all
job
on the
is it to tell people shit?
And it's weird because they said that throughout the whole casting auditioning process that it was
That was
decided already at that time
Right.
that she was the senior producer.
Right.
So it's weird that was already decided then, but your people don't know. for
Nobody
real?
knows. Who's supposed to know? This is what I don't know. I think, okay, based on who we see, that's 100%. That's 100% Charlamagne should be telling her. Based on the conversations that it should be Charlamagne telling her. That's based on what we see. But then it sounds like there's people pulling more strings, and whoever this Eddie is that Jess and Loren sat down with to hash out issues, sounds like maybe he was supposed to tell her that. Because he sounds like he's above everything. Even Taylor from Brilliant Idiots, producer, sound like, there's a lot of producer titles over there. It sounds like he's the one that we go to a conflict. Which means he's the more important because they brought their conflict to him. You know what I'm saying? So this nigga's important.
Yeah. Like, and even Taylor, like this morning I saw on YouTube, she had came in and brought Loren her laptop. I was like, why the fuck can she tell somebody something? You know what I mean? Like,
That's not her job.
Charlamagne's job.
It was either Charlamagne's job or Eddie's job.
Yeah.
I'm putting this on Eddie. We need to know who Eddie is.
It's got-
Somebody dropped the ball in communication.
It's whoever
Yeah.
is.
And I got the person I can blame on camera is Charlamagne. The person I can blame off camera is Eddie.
All of them dropped the ball, dog.
They all
Yeah,
did.
really all of them.
I'm not even putting it on Envy because
Not Envy that
I don't
much.
expect Envy to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
childish to put it on him.
Yeah.
Like,
But they were right when she was like, yo, this shit is ran like a high school, dog. But they're all in like
fact that
their
they-
own different versions of high school.
Yeah.
Charlamagne's definitely in High School Musical. It's just happy go lucky. Like, oh, I didn't even know.
It's fake though.
Oh,
It's fake as
exactly.
hell. Yeah.
Musicals aren't real.
Envy's in the Wire High School. What school was that?
I don't even know.
What school was that?
I don't know what
they
school
all wore the
was.
same
Nah,
green
nigga.
shirt.
Yeah, right.
Envy go to Abbott Elementary.
Right.
And Jess is with Coach Carter.
Jess is in the corporation. She's in that high school, like the corporation, the iHeart Corporation.
Lauren's in the gifted student program.
Jess with Coach
Yeah,
Carter.
yeah, 100%. She's getting college credits.
She's
in
working
high
on
school.
college credits at 13.
That's a whole fact.
Yeah, nah,
that's
she's
a whole
one of
fact.
those.
She's one of those off the rip.
AP
yeah.
classes in middle school.
AP off the rip. Yeah. You already know. Yeah, that's what it is. So
Yeah.
Did y'all see the part where
Perfect type to
about
trap.
the elevator in the morning?
Yeah.
She was,
Yeah, that was funny. Apparently, Loren LaRosa saw Jess coming and she started spamming that button.
the reason I kept
She's
highlighting.
Shannon Sharpton.
Yeah, and
I believe it.
we'll jump to that. But before, I didn't realize this Eddie section was there, so people don't think I keep throwing this nigga's name out for no reason. Go to 3445, and that was them.
You do sound obsessed with Eddie.
I do, but this is important. This is important in establishing who's saying things.
And he's not Googleable, right?
I googled. It's Goody. It's I don't see the whole last name though.
Is it
That was
Goody?
crazy. What the fuck? Crazy. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
His buddy's
Man, privacy alone.
I googled
All I-
Goody. I did it.
Yeah. All I got was
I couldn't find his
all I
goodies.
got was
Yeah.
Eddie F. No full last name. Eddie F.
One of those mysterious LinkedIn pages.
But
Okay.
this is also like an emergency show.
So-
we didn't have time to do all the research, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
So then I felt uncomfortable that first day. So I'm like, all right, look. Thea was like, all right. Well, we'll just take her off air. She was back the next week. All right, cool. Because there was a voice. Y'all wanted her on air. There was a voice. They wanted her there. They wanted her here. There's a place for Loren in the show. All right, cool.
But
if
you-
there's a
but
place
you-
for
but you-
her
but
on
you
the
wanted
show,
her- you wanted her
let's
here
do
too,
it
though.
another way. Yeah.
Because
I know-
you said you wanted to change the segment from Jess with the Mess to the Loren.
That was eventually, even when it came down to it still being called Just with the Mess, and then I'm introducing her to introduce stories. That was pointless and it was stupid. It's no Just with the Mess. Just make it Brown Girl Grinding or Loren with the latest or Loren's Legal Corner. I'm giving ideas. I'm like, yo. I even with the Taylor, change that. Take that Just with the Mess off of that. I feel like I'm getting credit for something I'm not doing, and it's stupid because this is not what she does. Is not Just with the Mess. I read headlines and I give commentary. I say what people thinking.
I agree. Could I ask
You
a
know what I'm
question?
saying? Yes, she's more of a reporter. She's
Can I ask
journalism.
a question?
What?
Why didn't you wear the do-rag this morning?
Because
Why you joke?
He drove me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that she's really getting her shit off right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Accountability. The they is Eddie, and it could be more people. I just don't know. You know,
Yeah.
what I'm
It's
saying?
definitely whoever's job it is to put things on memos.
Yeah.
dog.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
and that's the thing.
That's-
If I was Charlamagne, I would try to stay as far as I would just not know about certain things, just so if people ask me, it's like I don't even know, dog.
Yeah.
But even if
but
I
you
have the
can't be-
power, even if I have the power to know,
But
even if I
you're
should
supposed
know.
to be the leader, you can't do that.
It doesn't work for
Right.
him either
Well, you
because
can't run if you're the leader.
he's
Wow,
also
Charlamagne.
If that's what you proclaim.
Right.
he's also known Jess for like 10 years and they talk a lot behind the scenes. So there's no reason for I'm
I bet
sure
he-
she's already had that convo with him. I know that hands down.
I better hear this from you.
I have to.
Yeah, I
have to.
better hear
Yeah.
this from my nigga before
Like,
I find out in real time over weeks and months.
Which is another thing. Like, how is Jess looking at Charlamagne now?
It's not the same.
Like their relationship probably won't ever be the same because
not
it's
the
even because it's something so simple as communication. It's like wow, like and the whole like you really doing this on the radio, Charlamagne?
Yeah.
When she was talking about how he allegedly doesn't care about comments and public opinion and whatnot.
Lying
Even
ass
though I
nigga.
don't think that's what he was saying. I'm pretty sure he was coming from like a Jess, me. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. But it's all the same. Like Charlamagne was taking it too lightly.
Their relationship is gonna be fine. Even the way that they ended the show this day, it's like these niggas might be stronger now.
It's gonna
As
come
a
back
crew.
on air. It's gonna be fine.
They not strong until they hoop
I think they're
together.
strong as a crew.
But it
play
does
5-on-5.
it does
You know
show
they got
me
to spar.
They throw elbows.
it shows me why
Sanctions
Angela
fight this
Yee
Sunday.
left. Shows me why Yee left.
How?
She
Because Yee had a serious moment with Gucci and all them niggas too, and it's like
Yep.
if I keep having serious moments with y'all, and you're not gonna actually get out of your bullshit head and actually like talk to me about this and get to a solution with me, I'm gonna get real annoyed over the course of these coming years. or
Lauren, which
whatever.
moment are you talking about though? Because there was one moment where she kind of put herself in a trap. The whole like Angela, fucked you. Like that's basically what he was trying to say. Like that's basically what he was trying to say. It was like, Angela,
I'm with you.
That's a fact.
I'm with you.
That's a fact.
And the only
That's a
reason
fact.
Why you acting like this?
we had relations.
Bitch, you laid with me.
Nigga, turn the mic
And
off.
look, I understand where you're
Yeah.
coming from,
But-
but that was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit like I can't
But-
step into this. Some
No,
shit.
no, no. But
y'all
I
had
can't
some
step
going
into
on.
it for you.
I'm just saying, I'm alluding to shit that
I
we
get
don't
what
know
you're saying.
about. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm
we
alluding
saw,
to
we saw traits of things today
traits of-
that could have been issues.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's all I'm trying to
I feel
allude
that.
to. That's
yeah.
what I'm alluding to.
Okay, yeah. No, for sure.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Though.
But even Jess, she talked about it in her live a little bit. She was like, I see why Angela, which is probably why people thought she got fired or quit making those headlines. But
because that was definitely on some. I'm not even going to work tomorrow type
I
shit.
see
Yeah.
why Angela
That's what it felt
Yee
like.
had to leave. She probably couldn't deal with this whole immature bullshit. Woody whoop whoop.
It's run
Baltimore accent.
like a high school.
Like a high school.
And they
dog.
all agreed on that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Somebody need to get fired.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's your job to make sure everybody knows what's going on. You got my talent in here beefing.
And,
Where I heard at.
and is Loren really innocent?
Yeah. But I'm willing to hear your case.
Let me go ahead.
Like just saying, like I'm just thinking about it now, like we might as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Perspective is everything.
Yeah.
But I wonder, because your last statement when you was like, I'm your producer, you're my talent.
Yeah.
That's a lot of ego. And you know, confidence.
After
But
some layers of disrespect from Jess.
Yeah.
You know, some shut up, some woo-doo. So,
And she was like, I walked in this room because she was crying.
It's almost like she's a snake just waiting to bite, in the sense that she had that the whole time. She knows that she's over Jess. In turn,
I
maybe
think that was
like you could say
established
you could
important.
say talent if you care about that, but definitely just in the system of like the Breakfast Club and just the hierarchy, she's above Jess in terms of pull and power.
100%.
So
100%.
Is
I
Taylor
don't know.
too?
I don't know if she's
No.
what.
No.
Taylor isn't though.
Nope.
No.
Jess is high. Lauren is a higher position. We learned that today.
I don't
Senior news.
And I don't know if like she's
more than-
really
go ahead.
fully off the hook per se, because was she really confused? It seemed like she was doing excellent. How confused can you be when you're doing that good?
so
And that's
glad
what I'm saying. She like, it just seemed like she was going with the flow and doing her job.
Which is what most people would do. Put in
probably-
a situation where it's like, hey man, I'm just here. I'm just about to do my shit. She mad. It don't matter to me. She not gonna hit me.
Especially when there's no directions being given.
So this is my take on that whole thing that you just kind of laid out. My take is with Loren LaRosa in this, outside of us learning she's more than a senior news producer, because that comment at the end, I'm a producer, your talent, says that, yeah, that might be what the title is, but the responsibilities they gave her were higher.
Well, senior
Higher.
news producer is pretty.
It is, but it also sounds
They're
like
gearing her up.
it's a warm up. I know who's she's getting the Breakfast Club. It's gonna be her show at some point.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Yeah.
Like that is where we're transitioning to. When Charlamagne is done and he hits his number that he wants to hit for being in front of the camera and go behind the camera, which who the fuck knows how that's gonna go, is looking shaky as fuck.
And which
right
is
now.
real quick, which
But
might be
I know who it's going to. It's going to Loren LaRosa off the rip.
Which
That's
might
talent on air?
And,
Yeah.
And
Hey.
real quick, which might be soon, which is why iHeart wanted this confusion maybe. Because it's like just everybody probably knows that Loren is the next up, but Jess.
Not everybody.
Well, you get the point.
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
just
get what you're saying,
the
though.
higher ups and
The
shit.
higher ups know for sure.
The higher ups.
Charlamagne might not even know.
Is
But
Jess that? I mean, is Lauren that nice? Last episode, you were saying she was boring.
Yeah, but
And she's good enough to slide into like a A-list slot.
this is something I had on the notes for next show. But my whole thing with Loren LaRosa is that they couldn't do the rollout where her, because we didn't know her, even though she has great credibility and things like that. You still replacing Angela Yee with somebody that doesn't have a face card that we know immediately. It just doesn't make sense. Just hilarious. That makes complete sense. We do the whole rollout. She's coming to us with 4 or 5 million subscribers on you followers and shit. A big fan base and following. On paper, that makes sense. And then I also said on the last clip, what they're gonna do, or what's gonna happen, or could happen, is Loren LaRosa will get her clout up and go from essentially, let's just call her a C-list celebrity right now, right? C to B. But she's rising to A. It's coming quickly, right? And what I had as the note for the next show is when Gary Owen responded to her, and then she clapped back at him the following morning, and it had 300,000 views in 11 hours. I said, oh yeah, we get a couple more of these moments, she's up. She's up. We gonna know her face just like we know Angela Yee. If we get a couple more of these moments, 1 to 2 more years of her consistently doing her job and being good at what she does, she's gonna rise her clout rank up to A. So by the time we feel like passing things over to her, it ain't gonna look funny.
She
has it now.
She's gonna
just can't do it now.
She's like the good Candace Owens. Like
I don't know about all that.
If Candace Owens was good per se, like on the black side, not the white side, I think
I'm not giving her that at all. Actually,
I don't know.
She's
You
an
don't think
articulate black woman.
Yeah, I get that.
That's what
I'm
it
with
is.
that
just
though.
on terms of the same level of like thought and maybe I don't know, like
I think
what they would
disagree
do.
on some shit.
This is the thing with Lauren too. This is the thing with Lauren. As I was watching her, Lauren is doing absolutely nothing wrong. She's doing her job too good. When I work at a place, I normally don't like her. That archetypal person, that's the person that annoys me. They like
Because they make you look lazy.
It depends.
Because you are.
they're too good. They're on it. They're doing so much and more and prove she's the person that we all started at Amazon Fulfillment Center together.
Yeah.
All of us know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Half of these niggas are drunk. She's the one that within 2 weeks is now a supervisor.
You call her ma'am.
And then all of a sudden she's up in them cubicles, up in the thing.
Yeah.
When she started with all us sweaty niggas wrapping pallets.
And
Because y'all was
she's-
acting like sweaty niggas.
Thank you.
And
So
she-
exactly.
yeah.
But while you're working with her, you're like, she cool, but she's fucking annoying.
She's trying to break
too
the cap.
good. You're annoying me. You know what I'm saying? But that hard work gets you into places. You know what I mean? And she's learned from TMZ. I was also kind of like disappointed in hearing that, like, I know Lauren. I've had too many jobs, honestly. I'm the type of nigga that gets fired and shit. I have a job for a couple years, get fired, whatever.
Everybody is.
Or just quit or whatever. Like, so I've worked in a lot of like really strict corporate structures and a lot of really loose corporate structures. I can operate in both. And she is really coming. So it's like, as I'm watching her, I'm like, yo, you're really like, you're a great employee. You're great.
I knew,
you know what I'm saying?
I knew she was serious
But
when
annoying if I was working with her.
I knew she was serious when she had the VP producer be there when she had the conversation with Jess. I was like, that's some real HR shit. I was like, that's some real, like, that's some real.
Exactly.
I worked at like
That was
those
exactly,
type of companies.
bro.
I was like, that's some. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Exactly,
Real
bro.
niggas wouldn't have even thought of that, but that's what you
Thank
have
you.
to do, though. And she knew
That's
that.
who she
And
is.
she even said it was like, that's why I had him there because, bitch, you don't remember.
Yes.
She didn't say bitch, but you know,
literally,
all
bro.
respect to
She
Jeff.
could've.
That's exactly.
Might as well.
She
Once I
did.
heard that, I said, "Oh, this is it."
Yeah, yeah.
This is, you never even visited HR, and then you hear about a nigga going to HR to hash out an issue. You know what I'm
She
saying?
know how to play the game.
Because the other party initiated and was like, "I want to work these issues out, but we need HR in the room." Because when Jess pulled I don't even remember that. That's why I had a third party there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the problem.
She's a problem.
She's fantastic. She deserves everything that she gets paid and more.
Just hope
Off
she's
the
not.
rip.
Yeah, you gotta hope she's not evil. She's too powerful. She could easily be a Candace Owens.
She's doing exactly what she's supposed to do, and that's just what it is. That's what it is when you play the corporate ladder.
I was just about to say, like, it's not evil if you in capitalism, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like we
it's
trying
not
to make
evil if
money,
you're in
nigga.
corporate.
We got to move up this ladder, nigga. You got to climb.
Yeah,
It's not evil.
it really isn't evil.
Fuck it.
It really is. She's literally doing her job. And unfortunately, I'm dealing with some unruly Negroes right now. And I did close the elevator on you. I don't know what you're gonna do in this elevator. You know what I'm saying? But I'm at work. I'm supposed to feel safe here. And you was on live last night. You broke character. You took it outside of corporate. So now I do need to keep a distance before we have a conversation and things that oh, this is fair. You know what I'm saying?
I mean? And
This is all fair.
They should be friends. They should be best friends. With her being corporate and Les Hilarious being real raw.
Niggas showing up for a check are never friends with the people who take that job seriously. Let me just throw that out there. Like, I've always worked at a place. The reason I know I can't work for somebody for the rest of my life is because I can't wrap my mind around giving my all to a company for 30 years and then if it's a good company giving me a fucking a watch and a plaque. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just it's just I'm doing all that because I'm talking about the people who like They go to them jobs and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do my thing here for the next 30 years.
Set up.
I'm set. They're gonna put me on a corporate path. They're gonna pay me well, and I'm gonna perform like I started this shit from ground zero myself. I know I never had it in me to do that for somebody else. I can only do it for myself. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But Loren is a hard worker, a great employee, a great employee. She's a great news reporter. She's a great broadcaster. She speaks great. She's got everything.
Yep.
So it's the person that you want.
Great wigs.
Marry her, nigga.
It's the person that you want there, but I can understand Jess not even coming or being separated for so long because she's been famous for so long from the corporate world. I'm sure she's had jobs before when she was like on Vine and shit. But she hasn't had to do that in a long time.
They'll never be dap up, shoulder to shoulder cool. And it's on like the lines of what you were saying. Like she came in as being wanted. Loren was like just randomly chose, just by coincidence, and like maybe
her resume got her the job.
Her resume got her the job.
Jess,
the host on the show chose her, and even Jess chose her.
Jess chose her.
Yeah, how y'all feel about that? Y'all think that's crazy? Mark that too. Yeah, how y'all feel about that?
Crazy in what sense? Like the fact that she did it, or
like
to say it.
Like the easy joke is to say Jess hired her replacement. That's the easy joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're not an easy guy.
No, but I'm just saying, how do y'all feel about that though? You know, that's what people were saying.
I think it's just, man, it's as simple as, nigga, have you seen Spartacus?
I haven't.
So Spartacus came. He wasn't shit, right?
Okay.
And then it's this other dude. He was the guy, right?
Gotcha.
He got injured, maternity leave. In that time, Spartacus was able to really build up, get his strength.
Right.
He ended up becoming that nigga.
Yeah.
The dude came back from the injury. You know, his bumps and bruises, you know,
healed up.
went away.
Right.
And you get the point.
Yeah,
and
I get
it's
it.
like, that's all this is, and that's all it'll ever be. You know what I mean? Like, they'll never be close because, like you said, it's just, man, like at the end of I think Jess knows Loren is just better.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, I think it was also another thing where it was like, I chose her because I think Jess kept the show quality in mind the whole time.
Yeah,
it's just
I don't think anything about it was really selfish. It just appears that way because she's venting on Instagram Live.
Right, yeah. But I feel like she showed a lot of unselfish traits.
And I don't think that she feels like completely inferior to Loren. I just think that she acknowledges they're great at different things. Yeah. And like what Loren is not good at, that's what Jess is good at. Like even I remember one time, I don't know what comedian was on, but they was interviewing him and she was saying that she wanted to take improv classes so she can get more witty. Because, you know, she's on Loren.
Gotcha.
You know, she's a legalese,
improv classes.
Detail. She just wanted to be able to think quicker on her feet for the radio.
She has the mind of a CPA.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why Jess is needed.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little levity. All Charlamagne and Envy can do is gay jokes for real. Like, unless that's your style.
That's literally
Unless you want some more humor in there, then.
But just like in Spartacus, the dude didn't complain about it. He just literally got stronger. The dude that was the man before Spartacus. And Jess really didn't take that approach. She kind of got emotional on live. Whether you think it was right or wrong, I mean, it was going to happen regardless.
That was such a minor L in comparison to why that happened.
To the grand scheme, like
that
it
happened
was
because it had to happen.
It
because
wasn't
niggas was playing with it.
It wasn't the most peaceful start, but it's like it literally had to happen.
It had to,
and they're like we also got to mention they're not on bad terms. They like towards the end of the show, they started talking. They started getting cool. The chemistry started to come back. I think this is one of them situations to where it's like you gotta tear some muscle to get it stronger. Especially when it's a bunch of unannounced like little kinks and shit in there. You ain't stretching a while. It's like, all right, just go work out. You'll be all right. We've settled shit here before. Y'all niggas about to punch each other in the face on Sunday. That's just over strength.
Yeah, but that's like sarcastically male ego shit. Like it's just, hey, I can punch harder. No, you can't.
But that's what they need.
$5 Patreon.
Yeah, but I also think that we do a much better job. First of all, keeping a group of people together is not easy. So that's number one. So I do think that like we do feel a certain type of way about each other sometimes. It might not be like no overt shit, but I feel like our ego battles and us playing sports and competing against each other, it helps always alleviate the pressure.
Balance.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a balance.
It's always a balance. It's
a
like
balance.
I feel like
we're
when
five dudes.
Right. It's a bunch of niggas around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, so it's just, it is what it is. I feel like when we had the most tension, niggas hadn't balled in months.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
And that's really what it
On
be.
some real shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that would have helped with that situation.
not necessarily.
That was real particular, but I get
you
what
know
you
what
mean.
I'm
Now, I
saying?
feel what
Yeah.
you mean.
Yeah.
I haven't. You ain't sent me a screen in a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like when
One for all.
we do things that help always keep the pressure regulated. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because naturally as humans it's gonna happen.
And we don't like, we're dudes. So if there is a problem, like, you
It's
know, there's
gonna come
been
up.
some times where it was a little subtle, but it should just be, hey, this is happening.
Right.
And I don't like that shit.
Right, exactly.
It shouldn't be, because
Like a child, like a 4-year-old.
anything else is just going to lead to either you thinking it's not that deep,
Right.
or you not even knowing what I'm upset about, which is both stupid.
Yeah,
We get
exactly.
nowhere.
Anytime one person is confused, it's a problem.
And you don't know until it's too late.
Literally.
So,
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
nigga,
yeah.
you didn't fucking understand what I was
Oh,
telling
that's
you
why
for
we've been
weeks.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
And imagine if two people are confused and one of them acting like they're not.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
Who's acting like they're not confused?
The fucked up part
I
is
don't
they
know
were
if it's
both
Charlamagne or
confused.
Lauren.
Nah.
I'm gonna tell you what made this whole
I don't
situation.
think they're acting
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
confused. What was you about to say?
I was about to say, like, it also needs to be stressed that when Lauren did come on screen and talk, there's just so much we can say about this shit. There was a point in that conversation when they were like, neither of us know what's happening.
Nah, facts.
We're beefing with each other. I'm frustrated
For
at
no
you
reason.
because, and you don't even know. It either sounded like, this is how it either sounded. Okay, neither party knew what their title was. Neither party knew that the other person didn't know what the title was. Maybe Lauren had responsibilities higher. You know, all that was just
It was
confused.
all of that.
It was all of it. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't speak to each other clearly.
It was a lot of side conversations going on.
There's no bulletin board in the Breakfast Club. There's like, yo, this is what we got to do today. She's sitting right there.
Yeah, there isn't none of that.
And I'm gonna be real, they might not have had to do that because like we said before,
Yeah.
back in the day, they was kicking it. It was a little frat house in that studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they
So
had clearly defined roles.
they had very clear defined roles. Once
Yeah.
you threw that 4-person in there, that's when we really need to have these conversations on what does everybody do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and Jess was said several times, her taking her name out the soundbite. I'm getting credit for shit I'm not doing. That's some
Yeah.
real
That's
shit.
real.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's real.
Jess is getting dragged all on YouTube. That's because
I
a
don't
lot
fuck-
of that's because
yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
niggas rush to just get a bunch of clicks
Hell
and
no,
get
bro.
fired and she
Jess was
quit.
talking some real
Jess
shit.
is a real nigga for this.
Hell, bro, that shit
And
was real, dog.
I think that's the biggest part.
Yeah.
Like, why did they give her like part of the show to Lauren? Was she just sick that week?
Jess wasn't there. And so
Wait.
then when you come back and then like, all right, Lauren's giving the details and she starts to slowly acknowledge she's nice at this.
But how do you
yeah.
let this run for so long without there be any time? It'd be like the easiest time to fix some shit like that is right at the beginning.
They could have literally.
Because they didn't understand each
Right
other.
at the
when,
fucking
when you're,
beginning.
a sol-
They
when you're a
didn't
solid
understand
leader,
each other, Lauren.
when you're a solid leader that's paying attention
what's going on.
to his
It
player,
all goes
you should
back.
be able to see these things,
For sure.
especially even if you can't see them. It sounds like you had side conversations,
Right.
Even if it was a side conversation, it's time for me to bring this to the big conversation so that we don't have these problems on air and give us this. Now, thank y'all, the Breakfast Club. You know, I'm gonna thank you. This is my first time this year that I'm gonna thank y'all for this moment, for poor leadership and giving us this amazing content that we can all as YouTubers
Learning
eat
lesson.
off of. It's a learning lesson. I think this is great for all of us to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's great for us to eat off of.
You got to be bold. All that like beating around the bush and trying to be polite, it does nothing. You just hurting everything in the future.
Charlamagne don't know how to run a company.
Now I'm like, what is Charlamagne doing with Black Effect? Is he
Nothing.
just like making
that
connections?
shit was
and
handed to
letting
him.
shit happen?
Let's keep it real. He don't know what's going on. He has no idea what's going on. When he said he has a number, I remember him saying, "Yeah, I have a number on how long I want to be in front of the camera. Then I want to make plays behind the camera." Charlamagne hasn't. When he first came in, he had it. He had it. I'm not gonna take that away from him. When he first came in, he had it. He gave us
hits.
15, 20 niggas that we fuck with to this day. You know what I'm saying? We might not all fuck with them. They might have tricked themselves out of their position, tax stone, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But there's niggas that I only know because they were introduced to me through Charlamagne. These were only the first 5 to 7 years that he was you know, like that nigga. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, on the Breakfast Club. Since then, nothing but flops. Big Sloth, I felt like was him kicking it back off again, and then that went terribly south.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that felt like the first. I haven't put nobody on, right? Or at least openly, you know what I'm saying? I haven't showed y'all what I think is good content. Every time we see what's good content from him, it falls flat on his face. Every time down to the several TV shows that we see that can't stay on, to the podcast host that we see him that can't stay on, to this new iteration of the Breakfast Club that has. Now we're watching. It was like, well, what the fuck? Who was orchestrating this? Who was help even cultivating this? Why is this falling apart in such a preventable way?
What do you think his shooting percentage is
Recently,
all time?
all time. I gotta write it down. I have to write it down.
It's not.
35.
It's definitely lower right now. He doesn't have that many losses. He has more wins than losses. I will say that right now because the losses are just now racking up. The losses are just now.
So he's still shooting like 55
still.
from 3.
I give him 60 for all time.
That's even nigga. That's legendary
really
shit
good.
right
That's
there.
legendary.
Nigga,
Yeah, that's
Steph
legendary.
Curry.
Steph
But
Curry
no,
doing 44 is phenomenal.
Okay.
So
I think
60.
okay,
is
so maybe I would
like you don't miss.
No,
Well,
but I mean, he is legendary though.
This is what I'm saying though. But the only reason I'm giving 60
You
is
get your
because
point.
if I'm taking totality, I have a lot of people that I can say are doing good to very extremely well to very decent.
and some of them doing really, really well. Look at
of
Schultz.
off of his
phenomenal.
off of his
Yeah.
tree. That's all I'm saying. Like he
Yeah.
has strong trees from 10 years ago.
Nyla, it's fucking.
But
Taylor
now-
Arnold.
And even the smaller ones, like
But
they
those-
still
those
have
are the
working
ones-
jobs in media, like Mouse
Exactly.
Jones and Nyla. So it's
And
like,
I would say the Nala ones is like, you know, bring idiots. They can't stand her.
Yeah.
But she's not lacking for a job.
and at a
Exactly.
certain point, it's
Period.
on them. It's like, hey, I
Exactly.
fuck with you. I'm gonna give you the shot, but like you have to be amazing.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the only
yeah.
way it's gonna
Yeah.
work. They're not
So
just gonna
I-
like you because I said so.
Yeah, and I think there was a pause in terms of like, you know, like him doing things and shit like that and just like really like giving us people on the forefront like he was back in those early days. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's just now starting up. So that's why I said his shooting percentage, it is high right now. And I only said that to say that when he does decide to step off camera, because his re-entry and his thoughts on what's are good is so, it seems absolutely dog shit and terrible right now. When he does decide to just step behind the camera and play that more of an executive role, what product are you about to give us? What is the product that we're about to get? Like, how are you about to be running these things? How good are they going to be good at all?
Shaving cream.
Are they going to be good at all? Because it seems like your good ideas are not good ideas.
He's afraid of risk now. I feel like
He's terrified of risk.
he's terrified of risk.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah,
I really think that's what it is for
No,
him. When
I
think
agree
about
with
it,
that.
He's very
Yeah.
afraid of that shit.
he's so. I don't know why.
'Cause
I hope he doesn't go behind
He already
the camera.
stopped out of context. It seems like, and it's because it wasn't performing well enough for him at the beginning. It's how it feels. I don't know, but
We
it's
don't know
like
that. Yeah.
I'm alluding to shit, but it just
Right.
like feels like if it's not where he thinks he is already, then
Yeah.
it's like I can't keep doing it.
It's hard to tell with that because when it comes to like his internet YouTube shows, he'll never be fully committed
Try
until
It's
like
a risk that
like-
you don't want to take.
But he
I
also
don't even think well, yeah, but I think it's that old school shit that like I'm from radio, the internet is the internet. I like incorporate it into what I do, but it's like having a YouTube.
But stepping behind the camera in this era, how is that going to help you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If that's your thought
Unless
process.
if you're not running a radio show. Podcast network is a completely different game.
We're today is him running a radio show. We saw this is a mess right now.
Yeah, either him or this Eddie guy.
So even if
Yeah.
we take the fucking even if he stayed in radio and cultivated shit, this is a mess.
Because at least like on air, you got to take it a little bit more serious.
Come on,
a little
bruh.
bit more serious.
This is
Because like she's literally sitting there crying, and it's like, okay, this is a real moment. She's actually getting out some shit. So this
There's
is
absolutely no reason why I shouldn't have been impressed with the way that he handled it as a boss and somebody who has been around. There's no way. There's absolutely no
it
reason
just
for
sounds
that.
funny when you say it out loud.
But real shit, I saw him not address it or handle it like a boss at all. I've seen Joe Budden and Queens Flip beef with each other. Joe, the way he handles shit is extremely questionable, right? But at least
it's calm.
At least I see him handle it.
and he's trying to get to the point.
Even if it's in a terrible way, and then I see he has a system set up so that when he flops the what would you call it, like the conflict that he should be helping relieve, his backup is Ian.
It is Ian, and he's there.
And Ian is there to do it correctly and clean up any mess that. You know what I'm saying? He set up a system
to do the real leading,
to where I can see. Well, he's doing great leading as well too, but he doesn't have all the talents.
Yeah, because he still has that instigation bug in him too. He has to keep suppressed.
He's still a nigga. I don't even think Joe Budden never had a real job on some real shit. I don't think he's ever worked in corporate. If I'm being honest, I don't think he has, bro. This nigga's been a rapper his whole life. Like he's really been that nigga in terms of like rapping and shit. And on, you know what I'm saying? He was on drugs, all type of niggas.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
niggas on drugs don't have jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, there's so many drugs to do, dog.
I think that's why the everyday struggle thing was so big for him too, because he's learning that structure. He's learning what the big companies get. That's why Spotify was so big. You know, like he's taking all these lessons and learning. He's still doing his thing, not all the way correctly in terms of like proper leadership, but he's also established something that's helped him. I feel like we should have saw Charlamagne bossing up. And even not divulging everything, there's a way to handle that in the public light that makes it look like you have more control over what's going on there, alleviating your things. But the only problem is you can't jump out there and do that if, like I said, this is all like a conspiracy, if the conversations that I've had with you are not the same conversations that are happening here, and niggas think and now you think I'm acting funny because I told you some shit that you're bringing up, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I can't be as open and organized like that.
Even with like Stephen A. Smith.
Okay.
Like he stepped out doing his own show. That's pretty successful now. But like, fuck.
It's all good.
Got my point.
What Stephen A. Smith do? He was probably yelling and spitting when it happened.
God damn his forehead.
Handling things like a boss?
Yeah.
Handling things like a boss, but also with Charlamagne. Charlamagne. Can't you just right? You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you all run back? Do you have to run back any of these takes if Charlamagne comes out on Brilliant Idiots and says, "I'm a boss at Black Effect. I'm a talent. I'm just a talent. What do you want from me? I'm a talent."
Lauren.
I think he might just be a talent.
That's what I'm saying. What if he just says, "I'm a talent"?
With legendary talent powers.
It was given to him.
With certain legendary talent powers where it's like, your opinion matters on things.
Yeah.
But I don't think he comes. I don't think Charlamagne types in anything for the Breakfast Club that isn't like his donkey of the day. Right in the morning.
Exactly.
I think that's the only thing he physically does himself. And everything else is like he's Taylor there, Eddie's there. Somebody's missing that should be doing something.
So do you think he cares about like social perception? Because if this whole time he was just a glorified employee.
He can if he thinks he's perfect.
But if this whole time he was just an employee, but we put like this level of importance on him because
he's one of the most famous on the show.
But does he also? But what? Yeah, one of the most famous on the show.
Usually what happens.
Right.
It is.
Like when you're the face of the show, you're responsible for like everything.
Like LeBron is not the owner.
That's what.
But
we're gonna blame you first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're definitely blaming the biggest face first.
Right or wrong?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. 100%. This is.
I don't know. But I don't know. I don't blame him in this situation. I don't think it can't be his job.
You don't think he has
to
anything
let
to do
people
with this?
know that kind of shit.
Well, that's the thing.
You don't think he has anything to do with this?
No, I don't think he's completely innocent. Like playing, not taking it serious at first is definitely like, come on.
That's terrible.
Like, is it like
not taking it seriously ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
He didn't take it seriously one moment throughout this whole thing.
And which is all I think
That's
this whole
terrible.
thing is.
Which is that's embarrassing.
He
as a leader.
dumbed this down to being a comment conflict.
That's embarrassing.
What does he always say? Nigga don't read or take comments serious.
Yeah, nah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you the main one in the comments.
So you got Jess kind of echoing things that are in the comments, but it's just like I can't take that.
Right.
Even though you be in the comments.
Let's play that real quick.
Yeah, nah. He marginalized Jess' feelings to
Like
just
a
some
motherfucker.
some other shit. But it's
3606.
yeah.
All right. Tripping. All right.
I'm not Joe Clark.
Because it's not.
I am actually. Give me my baseball bat.
No, it's now Envy. That's what I'm saying. No, nobody has even tried to clean up the narrative that I'm a villain. Man,
You're not a villain. Who said you a villain?
Yo, stop acting like you don't live in them comments too, Charlotte. Stop acting like you don't understand.
What do I always tell you? I say stop listening to the internet. Stop listening to the comments. Stop listening to the folks on YouTube. Don't let them trick you out your position. What you did last night is what they want you to do, and you can't let the internet win.
No, but look, it's not even
hit
about
pause.
what they want me to do.
And then go to 3950. This was 3606 for the viewers on the full show. We're about to jump to 3950 because he kept in these next 3 minutes. He just keeps repeating the same thing in terms of like stop, paying attention to the comments, and then this part, which is very important to highlight.
Conversations about a lot of different things. Let's talk. Call me. What's up? What's the issue? What's going on?
The issue is the whole narrative. Like, I understand F the comments and F the people and all that. But it's not all about them. It's how I'm feeling too. What if I'm feeling the same way the people feel? You know what I'm saying? So what? Because niggas online feel a certain way. I feel the same way they feel about it.
Call me and curse me out. Call in me and curse them out. Yes, you do.
Yes, I've done that. You know what I mean?
There's a bigger issue sometimes too, because I feel like, all right, you'll call him, you'll cuss him.
Call me and curse me out, but we're not going to solve any of these problems. That's what's been happening, which is why she popped on live. That's what's happening.
Because she did call.
I'm calling you because I need to get this out. I'm coming to you because you're my OG. I hope you would help me fix this at work, and you're not fixing it. Me just calling just to vent about a bad day that I had that's not enough.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable for the 5 to 6 hours that I'm here. Help me. This is your home. This is your shit.
And back to what you were saying, like, should he have, like, or does he have to, like, let her know? No, probably not. If we're looking at like what his job description is,
Actually,
but
yeah.
he have?
100%.
Yes.
And did he know? Because according to him,
Nobody
according
knew.
to everybody in the
Nobody
room,
knew.
including Loren LaRosa herself, nobody knew. So it's like the one thing that they all agreed on is this shit is being ran like a high school, and that's somebody's fault. There's got to be somebody's job.
I need to goddamn.
It's
Tone
crazy.
needs a name.
No, it's true though,
But
bro.
on some real shit
Paperwork,
though.
It's
Like,
on
this
some
is
real
real
shit.
shit.
This is
Because it's
embarrassing.
How can a high level corporation like this in
It's
business
embarrassing.
move in this way? Like,
That's
you got
embarrassing.
You know what I mean?
don't
Like,
know who the fuck, what the job is, what they doing.
This isn't a garage band.
This is a startup business.
This
problem.
is a Hallmark radio show.
No, dead ass.
Like literally, if I'm the A talent on the show, I shouldn't have to come in and inform
Right.
you on what you're doing today. Like nigga,
And
which is
Lauren's confused because TMZ did run correctly.
Exactly.
Nobody was confused.
Yeah.
I feel like Van said that. But like even when he left the job, he's like, "Oh yeah, man, it's just my time was there. I built a nice career. It's it was a grand opening, grand closing. We do exit interviews over here, type shit. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
shit
Like
right there.
Yeah, like you
Exit
can tell.
interview.
He
You
didn't
can
even leave.
There's a lot of niggas
So
never
he
had
can come back
exit
whenever he wants because he did the exit interview.
That's what.
He
Come on,
left
bro.
for-
Yeah,
he
bro.
ain't even quit for it. He just went on leave, nigga.
The fact that
shit.
that's like the fact that that's that's something established there. You know what I mean? It don't sound like the Breakfast Club show is running like that on
I
any
will
level, and I
say-
think it's throwing Lauren off too.
I will
'Cause
say,
she's coming
isn't
from
that
that.
all of radio to a certain extent? Isn't radio in itself just like look, you got somebody on that motherfucker talking, there should be somebody producing, playing with the keys. Like radio in itself is it's loosely ran for the most part. Like,
I think
it's
it's
radio.
loose, but
fucking
it's
radio.
definitely organized. There's producers, there's
motherfucker.
program directors.
You don't
There's,
get to $1
there's
billion
niggas whose job it is to literally type up the ads.
Do you think there's
Like,
some underhanded shit happening? Like somebody in the back did sit down with Lauren and was like, "This is what we're thinking about," and like they have that separate conversation going on.
This is me thinking the worst of Charlamagne. I think he had that conversation with Loren LaRosa, and I think
the
that
conversation saying, "Hey, you better than Jess. We need you to come on."
Not better than
he
but
wouldn't
this is
say
what-
that.
Yeah.
think that's-
but it fell on some. You're the future of the Breakfast Club. That's what I'm gonna say. And I think he had a different conversation with Jess, and it set them against each other because they're confused.
I don't.
That's me thinking the worst. I prefaced it.
You said the
said
worst.
that.
Yeah, I
I'm
did.
glad,
He
I'm glad
definitely-
you said that.
Yeah.
I think the confusion was it's like Jess is complaining about Lauren and also saying that she wants her to have the segment at the same time. So if there's a bunch of like loose conversations that didn't happen in order, they just kind of happen around, and like you're not connecting all these dots, I can see that being confusing.
Regardless,
I can see that being
For
like,
sure.
do you want her on the show, or do you have a problem with her being on the show? It's kind of like
Regardless,
especially if she's not articulating herself clearly.
Regardless,
she says a lot of twos and yous.
it all stems from Charlamagne. Unfortunately, like you said,
I think that's easy.
It is easy, but why is it so easy? Because it's kind of the obvious. Like Charlamagne, like I think that conversation did happen, but I think just saying, "Look, why don't you just fill in for Jess with the mess spot?" That's enough. You know what I mean? I think that's all he had to do for her.
Yeah.
Like
Jess said that.
Jess said that.
Jess said that?
Jess said that.
Jess chose her replacement.
Yeah.
But the nasty
But
part
Jess-
was he said, well, I thought you were just using her.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought.
what?
Yeah.
I thought y'all did
That was nasty,
Yeah.
bro. That was nasty.
He was like, I thought
dog.
y'all had your own thing going on.
Yeah, like what? You thought I was just using her to boost my segment up, but still claim ownership to it? Just made it clear. Not only did I say give her the segment, we have to rename it so it don't look like I got demoted in front of people. Because one of the things I think I fuck with Jess a lot. I really do.
She's a real nigga in this.
I really fuck with Jess.
She's a real nigga.
Go to 3726. But I mean, there's quotables in this bitch. Jess was going crazy. Jess was going crazy. I love this part because niggas was trying to downplay her. And Jess, you're not crazy. Jess, I'm proud of you. You really did your thing this morning. And she's not crazy. And I can understand, nigga, when you lose. It's me when I kept saying every week, Charlamagne sneak dissing me. You know when a nigga is like talking about you, or not talking about you, but you feel like you're all alone on this island and nobody's trying to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, nigga, this is really how I feel right now, you know?
It's like being schizophrenic.
Yeah. So
But
and
right.
it's but then the people that are closest to you are dismissing you. That shit'll make you snap.
Yeah.
That shit'll make you snap. You know what I'm saying? And that's what.
Oh, that's just comments, Jess.
Yeah, but this shit.
3725, right?
Yeah, we got to hear this.
What is
Not
we
like
talking
that.
about?
Not like nobody having my back, because we have your back. As far as the Corey Holcomb thing, y'all been beefing for 11 years.
I'm not worried about it's not even about
You
you.
worried about comments, and you worried about what people say after.
I'm worried
niggas in
about the
comments,
perception
man.
and my reputation up here on the
They've
show.
been ishing on me for 15 years. They've been ishing on Charlamagne for
rightfully so.
15
But
years.
that's on you.
Rightfully
And the
so.
things that I don't ish.
That's it. I'm worried about my perception and how I'm viewed up here on the show. That's a fact.
And she also left out.
That's important.
It's important, and she also left out the fact that she agrees, like she feels the same way. And I think, like that moment right there is what I think was happening for weeks. Like
Yes.
she was saying that, but she wasn't saying that I also kind of feel the same way. And so they just kept saying, like, nah, nigga, ignore that shit.
There's
bro.
no
It's
reason
nothing.
that last
do it
clip,
together.
Jess Hilarious lost her spot or had a demotion. There's no reason I should have been able to title it that if they would have listened to her and just reframed it. You know what I'm saying? If the proper steps were to everything up, the thing that's crazy about every single thing that came to a head this morning is all preventable. Every single one of them was preventable.
With
I
two
shouldn't have been,
interns.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been able to
got paid.
title a clip that she got a demotion if they rolled out and transitioned gracefully
Yep.
the way
Yeah.
they should have. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was just like Lauren. Hey, Lauren's
Right. I mean, that doesn't look good to her reputation. I understand that. You know what I'm
Yeah, it
saying?
looks crazy.
So the fact that she's even like, no, I'm worried about that shit because I have to live with that. That's on my jacket now. You know what I'm saying? By the way that y'all conducted and treated and moved us around with these pieces, you know?
Yeah.
That's also the part.
That should have never happened.
Where it's like, it should have been a lot easier to explain this shit because you have a listenership of people who are watching. You got to explain that to your fans too, what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to explain to people, we bringing somebody else on. We
they're
starting
not-
this new segment. We got to explain that to the listeners,
But they're
motherfucker.
not. But they're not telling you to just ignore the comments though.
Exactly.
Like ignore the comments
Exactly.
because don't let them trick you out your position.
That's crazy.
That's what I.
That's insane.
I hear what you're saying, but don't let them trick you out your position, brother.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because you're supposed to be here. I told you that. I tell you that every time.
I mean, but I'm not letting them trick me. I'm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy, my
Nigga
nigga.
Lauren
This is how I
shed a
feel, you know what I'm
tear.
saying?
Yeah, bro.
This is how I
This
feel.
is crazy, my nigga. Like, how dare you keep saying that to me? And how dare you not take an account? How dare you
Just not
be-
acknowledging
just not
what's
acknowledging
being
it.
said. You know what I mean? Like, and it's.
Nigga can't stop the trolling.
Yeah.
I wonder why he couldn't just. Yeah, I don't know. Charlamagne just definitely wasn't taking it serious.
Yeah.
He wasn't taking it serious. He never took it serious because it wasn't his problem. He was on a plane or some Black Effect.
56, just because we need to make sure that some of these things
Get
are
noticed.
heard. 56, 53.
I mean, you'll hear it when I play it.
My timestamps are through the roof right now, nigga.
I got you.
It's actually too many. This is like draft 1. You know what I'm saying? If I had time to clean it up, it'd be more. I'd be more. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Emergency pod.
doing my best. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You was
It was just weird. You know what I'm saying? How when I came back, like this young lady just said, when I came back, it was just like, all right, if she's expected to be the 4th host or whatever, yo, let's bring her in, or let's create her own segment. Let's legitimately do it. Let's officiate it. You feel me? Like, why is it only when I gotta talk, or when I, on my segment and things like that? It could have been done a whole nother way. It could have been brought to me while I was even on maternity leave that we wanted to bring her in permanently to be on the show and not just a producer.
I don't think we even came to that conclusion yet.
She wasn't supposed to be the 4th host. She was supposed to be a
from
producer.
the time y'all auditioned. Jess was going to be the host. Lauren was going to be the senior news producer.
Yes,
that was always the plan. When you came back from maternity leave and Lauren was here as the senior news producer, when you started to bring her in to do some of the litigious stuff.
Yeah, the court things, yes.
I thought the segment was just evolving naturally. Like, I thought y'all were having those conversations. Y'all was putting that together. I didn't know it was an issue.
But in real time, are you realizing that, like, there not possibly, but there should have been some more guidelines laid out, like structured stuff?
Yeah, once everybody figured out exactly what it is they wanted to do.
Yeah, but I think even if, like, because for me, as the person that, like, I'm watching all this in real time, I know Jess feels away. I don't know what's happening either. I was also like, okay, what's happening? But I was just going with the flow. But I felt like going with the flow made it kind of like was like when you got a bruise and you keep touching it, so it's like it's hurting more, and then we just not talking about it. But like, I didn't know what else to do because we ain't talking about it, and we figuring it out.
And when I realized you didn't know what was going on either, because we had a conversation, that's when I told you, all right, yo, my anger is misplaced. Like, I'm mad at her when I shouldn't be mad at her. Like, and it was made to look like that from the jump, and it was just like, it was no coming back from, even when I started being cool with her, like, you know what? No, she, and she's helpful, and she helps with questions, with interviews, and all of that, helps conduct the news and the details and stuff. I'm like, all right, but it's still no communication. Now I'm just cool with her, but we still don't know what's going on. So it's just weird. It's being in a weird space with it.
Well,
how do we resolve
this? Yeah, nah. Whoever's job it is to handle this messed up miserably. Even there was another point, I don't think we got to it yet. Apparently, Jess, her comeback from maternity leave was supposed to be like a whole
rollout.
It was not extravagant, but it was supposed to be a planned rollout. Like, she wasn't just supposed to pull up to the studio and just like, hey, what's up, everybody? Like, there was a planned action, but apparently she got there and like that whole shit was aborted. Nobody said nothing. She just came and there was somebody sitting in a chair. That's understandably like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Who are you?
Yeah. I definitely, it's just another thing, like, where I see where Jess is coming from. Because they tried to put her on Jess level. You know what I mean? Out the gate. You feel me? Like, imagine your replacement being on the level that you're at, not just being like just a stand-in. And that's where, like, she was just saying, like, what the fuck? Like, get her own shit. Why is she on my shit? I am the third official co-host.
And why do y'all keep wanting her to be on my shit?
She went. The only time she's on is when it's my shit. It's not like Lauren sat there all morning with them niggas. It was when it was time to deliver that shit.
And it could be like, and it's just,
tell Jess to come out the back real quick. Lauren. Because Jess is about to start talking.
That's crazy.
And most of the time it was Jess giving that call. Like, when it was like a case with some real legalese, that's when she would bring Lauren up.
Right, but then it stopped becoming that because it sounded like they wanted her to be on every time it was she talked.
Yeah.
So
higher ups, man.
It's disrespectful. It's honestly it's honestly disrespectful, and it is kind of a shame that it kind of played out like that. After, Jess had a fine career. I don't follow Jess Hilarious, but she came with like 4 or 5 million subscribers. Obviously she's doing, YouTube, Instagram's followers. Maybe even more. I don't know, but a lot. You know what I'm saying?
She's active.
I don't think she was doing bad at all, right? This was a great look, but it is a shame that, like, I didn't have to do none of this. I could have continued my beautiful life, working for myself, doing these shows, going to Wild 'N Out, hanging out with, just enjoying my life and not had to deal with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm here off the strength of somebody else. I think it's going to be a professional environment because this place has been around for 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she said it herself, and she was choked up on Instagram Live. Like, I didn't need the Breakfast Club. My money was straight. I wanted to do this. Like,
exactly.
The Breakfast Club was some shit that she watched, and like the rest of us,
I grew up on it.
Put it on that pedestal of Hallmark Radio.
Yeah.
She got the chance to be a part of that shit. It's like a childhood dream.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what that
and
is.
it's a shame that this happened to her. Like it's been happening like this. And honestly, for Loren, because this is the fucked up thing about Loren. One, I do appreciate that Loren was like, because Charlamagne, Envy, I was kept the same position the whole time. So I gotta respect that. You know,
he
what I'm
did,
saying?
and he kind of turned around a little bit too. Like
He
started,
did.
I started like understanding Jess's point more.
Yeah, I think Envy did completely
Yeah, he did
fine
well. He
in
did well.
the way that he's disconnected, but got real connected real quick and read the room. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that Loren even checked Charlamagne and was like, bruh, like we saw her crying.
Yeah.
Chill out, bro.
This is real.
This is real shit.
This
like
is real.
let's just get through it real quick, like actual adults. So I do appreciate that she did hold it down for that. And I also feel bad. There's a certain level that feels bad for her too, because she put her time in. I don't know where she went to college. I know she went, but she did her time. She went to college. She got a job at TMZ. She rose up at TMZ. She got an opportunity at the Breakfast Club. She was working for the whites. She did her fucking thing with the whites. Came over to a black company, not a black company, but a black show in an urban market, the biggest though, and then did her thing. She is getting up to where she dreams of, I'm sure. Like she's where she dreams. She's showing us why she's gonna be here for a while, and having to deal with this bullshit. Like false, you know what I'm saying?
But that's natural, because constant linear progression, that don't happen. Like nobody goes from I'm a nobody to I'm a star, and there's no hiccup in between that.
I do agree with that, but it's just like, damn, like
Most people got more setbacks than that.
long story short, like what I'm saying is just like she's gonna get there, but it's gonna be rocky. It's gonna be turbulent, and it's because this part of her turbulence could have been avoided. More turbulence is coming, 100%.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because we got
at least this part could have been avoided.
Because now we're about to see how talented she really is.
Yeah,
like the world, because like the whole everybody's opinion on this kind of changes a lot. Like when she's doing good, she's good, and when she's doing bad, she's bad. Like as soon as she starts stuttering when she's reading details, it's gonna be like, oh shit. Jess was right.
You can only be so good for so long too before people find a problem.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
But not everybody is LeBron James to where you can get put on a magazine saying that you're the best player at basketball in the world at 16 and then do it.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie.
There's a lot of pressure on her to perform now. Like
absolutely. It's official now.
Even today, like they had an emotional moment, so of course it's not the smoothest show, but she was stuttering a little bit during the thing. I'm like, okay.
I think it's because she was trying to have this is what I'm gonna say. Not everybody's LeBron, but she might be. I see it. She hasn't been off really.
But why didn't we see this to begin with?
I think we always saw this. She just wasn't big enough for us to give a fuck. That's the biggest thing. It's not. It's
us.
She was always there. With people that are talented, it's always, what do they call the diamond in the rough. He just needs to be polished. That's all it is. She was already polished. She came to us polished because she got polished at TMZ. It's just you're not big enough for anybody to really give a fuck.
You didn't put her in the glass case.
Like, that's all it was. Like, I can't roll you out because I got Jess hilarious, my nigga. Like, yeah, that's who I need to put on my billboard in Times Square because more people just know her. Like, Loren is just a girl that's extremely fucking good.
Yeah.
It's just she's not famous enough to have that roll out. She's getting there though.
She's getting there.
She's got this currently going on where she's every day getting pitted, especially now after this situation. Every day we about to niggas are subconsciously rating them every single day now.
All the time.
It's like it's up.
And that's when stars are made. That's where
That's when stars are made.
If there's an actual
I'll
game.
just say I don't think she's gonna fold.
I was gonna say that's where they also broke. That's where they also fall though.
And that's what we're gonna
They also
see.
fold right there.
They can't
That's what
fold
we'll
right
see.
there. I have faith that she won't fold.
Nigga, we thought
That's just me though.
I feel-
You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you. I feel
Yeah.
we thought Lynn Bias was gonna be crazy.
Right. Yeah.
He
I don't
didn't
think
make
she
it past
folded.
draft night.
I don't think she folded because even though she was stuttering, it was really more on that like.
I don't blame the situation today. I'm not saying that's going to be moving forward.
I feel what you're saying, but if we go to what's that stand where she started standing on business for real?
4610.
Yeah, I put down Loren asserting extreme dominance.
Oh,
That was my notes. This is it right here.
And it with love because when I saw Jess crying, I came in here because I care about you. Have to be okay for all of this to be okay. And I'm a producer at the end of the day. You my talent. We gonna be straight. Everything's gonna be fine.
Let's take some calls and then we'll come right back. 800-585.
To happen, and it's happening with love because when I saw Jess crying, I came in here because I care about you. Have to be okay for all of this to be okay. And I'm a producer at the end of the day. You my talent. We gonna be straight. Everything's gonna be fine.
One more time so everybody can hear it. Because
that this will work, okay. But sometimes this might have to happen, and it's happening with love because when I saw Jess crying, I came in here because I care about you. Have to be okay for all of this to be okay. And I'm a producer at the end of the day. You my talent. We gonna be straight. Everything's gonna be fine.
Let's take some calls and then we'll come.
That's a boss. That's somebody who's here to stay. They're not folding.
I feel it.
They're not folding.
I see the strong character.
They're not folding.
I hear the determination. For sure.
Bro.
I've seen the skill and the talent.
I see the level set.
I just hope that people's approval and praise of her isn't just from spite.
Right. Social perception.
Because a lot of because
that'll happen.
You know, when you born just out of having an enemy already, it's like, you know,
it doesn't bode well for you.
We don't know how much we really like you or how much we really dislike them.
You have to be on Team God. It's like, who wants to be with the devil, nigga? It's like
It did put me more on Jess' side a little bit too, though. Even though I did love that part, it's just like she kept every time I hear her say, "I'm a producer," though, I'm like, well, why the fuck was they doing that?
But see, I loved it.
I loved it, but I
hated it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because you're the coworker. You're the coworker that annoys me.
Yeah,
I know what you are. You're not doing nothing wrong. So we can't fault her for that. But it's like, I hate that you just said that. But God damn it, you're right. You know what I'm saying?
What if in some weird way it was Lauren's job to fire herself from that? Like
role.
being the senior news producer.
Just say,
I think it might be your job to let the show know that Jess is doing that by herself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm bullshitting, but like that would be funny.
That's probably not in her character because nobody told her to do that. She's an employee, probably one of the best. So she does exactly what she's told and a little bit more. And like that's what we saw.
I love the situation.
That little bit more was just a little bit better than Jess.
A little heavy.
Yeah. I think she does a lot more. I think she's great, man. I really think she's good.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't see it fold, bro.
I don't see it fold. I think she's gonna be good. I'm just hesitant to give her as much confidence as you.
I am, yeah.
Because another thing I just thought about,
change too.
We only really see her excellence in like a couple minute spurts.
Yeah, we do. We haven't seen long form yet.
Being great in 2 minutes is being great in 2 minutes. But like, how long is a radio show for real? From like 6 a.m. to
that full 2-3 hour 20.
But that's
over 4 hours
because it's not all the music
and
all the breaks and all that. So over 4 hours is.
I think it's 4 hours.
You know, a full game is different.
For
sure. But I don't want to say that to make it seem like I'm hating her. I think she got it, but we just have to see.
We have to see.
Because a lot of what I'm seeing is being propped up by hate.
But there's only going to be so much
just
of
that
it.
competition.
Just that competition. So it's easy to be like, Like my brain is looking at things she might be good at and probably exaggerating how good she is at it. Because she's better than Jess.
There's only so much she can do, though, with this because she's playing two roles, two hats. You're saying she's going to have to inevitably fall in line one place more than the other.
Well, let's just throw this out there. Jess's time is the timer started.
I don't know. I don't know.
She's not going to be
I think this might have extended the time.
Me too. I think
it might have extended the time.
Lauren, I think that the bond is solid.
Yeah, I think it's going to be better.
I think moving forward, it's just one of them things to where you got to go through growing pains. Like a show that's used to having 3 people, and then they drop the third person. And then replace that person with 2 other people, that shit not just gonna go. Like,
of course not.
This shit is chemistry. It's layers of friendship in between. It's like it would be weird if that shit was just great off the break.
And here's the other part. Okay. Jess now also has the confirmation that her feelings are felt by more than just herself. Callers called in and said it.
Yeah.
Envy kind of came around. Yeah. Lauren said it. So Jess has the confidence of knowing that she's not crazy, right? Now the lights on everybody. So not only does Lauren have to perform, but now Jess is comfortable performing because it's like now I get to really be myself and do my shit
in her defined role.
In her defined role,
because she got to listen to people who we know actually listen. Like if you're in the car and you call in, like nigga, you listen to the.
It was some real listeners.
We can't like you can't decipher on YouTube who's real writing, who's just here because I love Corey Holcomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah,
They're dropping Corey Holcomb shit in the chat.
Yeah, it's probably plenty of people from 5150 who don't watch it at all, but they're just here to
like,
just to watch the crash out.
The video popped up right under what I was watching. I'll tap in.
Yeah.
Right.
Go put some hate in that motherfucker.
Okay, so the only reason why I'm very iffy. Okay, so when y'all say, when I say timer is limited, I'm thinking whatever the contract is.
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
If that's your definition, then it was always limited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a contract has a final.
You're saying
date.
there won't be a renegotiation.
But you're just saying, you're confident that there might not be no re-up.
Right.
That's all you're saying.
I'm not confident, but I see it. And a possibility if things don't get better, even though we did see things get better, if things don't get better, and because sometimes we had a great powwow, we got to resolution, like real resolution, and then it just kind of like it's good for a month,
and things persist,
and then little things start trickling in. We don't know about that yet. That's always a possibility.
So it sounds like it's on them.
It really is
on them if this shit works.
And how bad do they want? How bad? She doesn't need it. I know she doesn't.
Jess wants this, and I think she's gonna stay for that exact reason. Like when she was on live, she was talking about how like she actually as a kid, I really wanted this.
But she also said, of course I'm booking more things because I have more fun out that studio.
But I think she also
which is another thing we didn't really know, like because we've talked about her absence before, but we just kind of excused it to she's busy. That's what she's supposed to do.
But no, she
was leaving on purpose because she didn't like being there.
Right.
That's huge.
I think. My fault, go ahead.
And you fuck it.
I was just gonna say, I think she was taken aback by how much she realized Envy actually really wants her there. I don't think she realized that.
I understand that. Yeah,
I don't think she realized how much Envy wanted her there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that also gives her confidence and like feeling like, damn, I am loved.
Literally,
because Envy's a teammate.
Yeah,
Envy's going, but
Envy's an empath. And I'm glad you did that shit in the moment because with Charlamagne not taking it as serious and Loren being confused,
Charlamagne pretty much said, "You on your own, nigga." And it's
low key.
You're on your own right now.
With Loren being confused, that conversation could have went so much worse if Envy wasn't just like, okay, what's really happening here?
Yeah.
Because it's actually love. Like there's no real malice in the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no beef. There's no real jealousy between Jess and Loren. Like it happened, but it was for a reason.
Yeah.
It wasn't just innate. Like I just hate this bitch.
So all the comments and all the times that they were saying pitting black women against Charlamagne, specifically saying putting black women against each other is the best form of beef, was all fabricated. It was all started by y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like y'all the ones that did it by how poorly the operation was being run.
They didn't help. They definitely didn't help the narrative.
Yeah.
And I feel Jess on that point too, to where it's like,
if you don't say anything,
comments are comments, but certain things that are being said could divide the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit like that has to be addressed. It happened here. Like there was a moment on the show to where, because there was a point in time where this half, they would separate. It was Tone and Jay, and it was like AJ, and they would kind of do that. And there was a moment where you had to sit down and be like, nigga, I don't like that shit. Like, nigga, we're a crew. It's 3 niggas in this. Loren and
I don't fuck with none of you niggas.
We're a
classic crash out. You know, classic crash out.
But shit like that is important.
You need that sometimes.
Morale.
Gotta have that.
And Envy played that part in his. It's like, nigga, we a group. I fuck with y'all.
Charlamagne said, ugh.
Not doing the proper upkeeping, man.
Yeah.
That's all this is. Proper upkeeping. It's like
Nasty
a fucking
shit.
regular relationship.
And there are certain things that you do have to sit back and let niggas handle on themselves. But there's other things where it's like, okay, hold up. It's still us though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like have a moderator.
That is that problem that you have with that specific person, but nigga, it's still over here though. You know what I'm saying? So
But nah, man, I think I don't know about Jess leaving. I think she's gonna be staying around. Like,
I think
she's
gonna be good. Right?
And
just not
I guess
sure.
TBD.
I guess I agree. Like they're gonna be
stronger,
a lot more understanding,
You know
which
what I
leads
mean?
to a stronger foundation, which leads to actual friendship.
As long as they truly and I don't think there's any misunderstanding after today's show. I think like nigga,
it's so clear
there's
right now.
can't be.
It's pretty clear. Like
There
don't
can't
do that
be.
again.
Yeah.
And let's move forward.
So what the fuck is Lauren's contract? And why does it not state what she's supposed to be doing?
Oh no, man! I got questions. You know what I'm saying?
You think they expected her?
What does the contract say based on what I've heard people tell me?
Being a producer,
it's different. She has heard different things.
Being a producer is a weird job because like even Taylor's a producer on
I'm so
Brilliant
confused.
Idiots.
I'm so confused about that,
But there
yeah.
was a point in time where it's like her mic was consistent.
Well,
So
Lauren's
she's
a
doing-
producer and he fucking talks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
but
that's,
I'm not-
and that's what I'm saying about the job of a producer.
But there's different, though.
It can
There's
be
different
a
producers.
vague line
Well,
to where
I will say
talking,
AJ's
show
more of a
running,
producer of the actual like. There's different producing
Exactly.
positions.
Yeah, and I will also say that in podcasting, I feel like producing, we can see it a lot clearer. Radio, I'm confused, nigga. Because I remember when I first heard that Taylor was the producer of the Breakfast Club, and I was like, damn, is she structuring the whole show? Like, what ideas were her? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did she do? And then they were like, Lauren's also a producer. Okay, but of news, at least I got the news title out of that one. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know what Taylor does, but at least at Brilliant Idiots, it's pretty clear. I know their mic is going to be on because in podcasting, it's cool to give your producer a mic.
Yeah.
But I know she brought the topics off the rip. Outside of whatever their
segments,
whatever their freestyle is, she brought topics and segments. I know that for sure.
Nigga, she brought content.
Essentially,
Making fun of Taylor was just like a bag they could hop
right.
into.
But
for
on the
15
radio,
minutes.
I mean, we're only talking about two producers. We can't forget about Eddie.
Yeah, whoever that guy is.
And you know what it is? I think like how loose podcasting is and how polished radio is.
Yeah.
It's easier to see in podcasting because it's loose. Like
yeah.
radio's so produced, we don't know who does what. It's like,
Right.
nigga, there's sounds and different voices and noises and buttons that get pressed. Nigga.
Yeah, dead ass.
There's
It's
no
so
telling what's
confusing.
going on.
It's a
Yeah.
smoke and mirror show, though, bro. We just watched the startup company like blow up. We just watched that here.
Yeah.
Like some of these podcasts are running more structurally than
That's a whole fact.
you know what I'm saying, than what we just saw.
Yeah, it's
So
like
this new regime.
Yes, this new regime. So,
yeah.
and I'm talking about niggas that like already like locked in with
Oh,
big
yeah.
numbers and all that shit. Them niggas are fully structured podcasts and the way they operate their show.
It is what it is.
Yeah, like I feel like even a nigga like Red Bar got his shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but are you talking about in terms of like what we see on screen or chemistry too? Because
In terms of chemistry, what we see on screen about everybody knowing their defined role, about just the structure of no confusion of what we are doing here.
chemistry is a weird responsibility in podcasting because it's like this isn't a corporation. We don't have an HR department.
Right.
So whose job is it to make sure we like each other?
All of us.
I mean, if there was
so
like an
then
HR, I would feel like I
it's
would
not
have to
just the
do it.
producer.
Yeah, it's like
it's not just the
Yeah.
producer.
it's
then.
like I feel like I need to get ahead of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there is no one person where I'm like,
there's nobody's job.
Honestly, if it's like if I'm confused and I feel like I can't do it, Sean will probably do it.
Exactly.
Sean.
And if Sean can't do it, he'll throw an ice cream cone somewhere.
Yeah. Sean will be our HR if it really got that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it got that big.
Because especially if I'm the one involved in it, if it's something with me, it's like, okay.
It probably would. You a Menace.
right. Like we need another third party here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it does fall on everybody, just a little bit.
So
Yeah.
then, like, we just can't.
especially at a small scale, it definitely falls on everybody.
Yeah, we can't attack the structure of a show when that's not a job responsibility for nobody. Like the Breakfast Club has an operation. It sounds loosely run because they kept making that high school reference, but there's some kind of something.
Oh yeah, somebody has a schedule and all that shit. Yeah.
Turn this mic on, you
But,
unpaid college
I
student.
mean, I think that's it. Where we at timing?
We at 135.
Perfect. Get the fuck out of here. All right. I will find the timestamps in this show. We got a couple loose ones. I kind of forgot. Like once the conversation started flowing, it's like, you know what? I just started like telling white men, just put a
you started
timestamp.
tickling your toes in your shoes.
Just put a timestamp
They come
there.
with a signal, just
So
like
I'll sharpen up the timestamps as good as I can. If any of our avid real listeners want to do timestamps and help us out in the comments, just shit like that. But I'm gonna do it as best as I can. This will be out first thing in the morning because I was gonna rush it tonight, but there's no reason to rush.
There's no reason to rush, dog.
Because
We're better than these other niggas.
Yeah. So it
They
is what it
lied.
is. They lied.
They just put random shit in the titles.
Yeah, talking about she quit
She
or
got
got
fired.
fired.
Bro,
What
this-
are we talking about?
This shit made me feel ashamed to do what we do. Like,
Yeah.
just for that brief moment, I was like, I can't believe I'm in the same category as these niggas.
Yo, I was
Not
dying.
really.
I was dying.
But
like when I saw
slimy.
Jess Hilarious fired from the Breakfast Club, nigga, I was scouring the internet. I'm like,
It-
well,
it
where is it
wasn't.
at?
Where?
Yeah.
Where is it
Where,
at?
nigga?
Yeah.
I was like, but then I couldn't find it. I was like, these niggas. You know
That'd
what I'm
be
saying?
the- yeah.
Like,
Like, nah,
That
nigga, that's
you don't
why.
have to clickbait like that.
That's why we slow cook our shit. Like, of course, it's an
Yeah.
emergency pod, but it's like it's an hour and 35 minutes.
Right,
We're
right,
not
right.
rushing. We put our shit out when we put it out.
yeah,
I think,
nah, man.
I swear to God, before we
We
get
run
up
our
out of here,
race.
I'm almost positive that FMAC Text responded to the story that I put on Instagram talking about y'all recording tonight.
That asshole. Hey, like I
Nigga.
said in the beginning,
You're in our group
shame
chat, nigga.
on the Mac. The Mac ignored all those texts, nigga.
Yeah, nah.
We was sending links.
Bad Mac
Sorry.
in
This
the
is
comments
from yesterday. This is from yesterday. So this is okay.
So now shame on AJ.
Shame
Yeah.
on me
For
for
making us
Shame
do
AJ.
for offering them up like that.
See, our chemistry ain't great either. We place blame on niggas.
Let's just get dropped and shit, you know.
Blame that man.
But nah, man, appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Make sure, again, comment down below your hashtag office hours. We're going to be taking them from this video too.
Up to Tuesday.
Yeah, up to Tuesday for next week's video. Again, partner in the show, we get to talk to y'all, you know what I'm saying, different conversations about life, the universe.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, we about to go see about, because they got a wing special, right?
Yeah, we have to get there before 11.
What time is it?
10:19.
All right, yeah, so we about to be out, man. It's your boy, the one and only, Jay Noble.
Tony Groove.
AJ the Menace.
White man on the boards.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're out. Yeah.
I had to hit the wrong one.
I had to hold that shit out.
I had to type right